tragedy can be prevented if and only if you surrender your money to me
and buy my candy!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition to Goosebumps HorrorTown. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at a special little thing I did, and I kind of teased this way back during my Murder on Clown Street playthrough, which was the look at Jack and his story, short quest, The Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Now, Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns is one of the more well-known books within R.L. Stine. And the book itself is quite interesting. It kind of plays off where these kids meet these other two kids, and then it ends up having them kind of going... They're like, oh, we know this thing, and then you get to see these jack-o'-lanterns like you saw a little bit during that little introduction. And don't worry, you'll see more clips from that episode because... oh boy, does it get interesting in there, especially the design of the invaders or the aliens. Oh man, yeah, basically the gist of it is that these jack-o'-lanterns come by to take them to this weird town, or not town, but this like block where people just give them like a bunch of candy, and then they're like, wait,
there's so much candy.
It's like,
no, more candy!
And then it's like, oh, I can't carry anymore. And then they just dump it on the floor and they're like,
alright, your bag's full. More candy! Yes, more candy!
It's like, you know, all this stuff and more. It turns out it's the two kids they met before, and then it found out that, oh, they're aliens. Yet the girl seems like she kind of knew they were aliens. The guy didn't, but she was more surprised by the twist of the four people that disappeared. That was their doing. But I'm interested to see how Pixowl kind of does this story and this character, because although he is a pumpkinhead, he is surprisingly he's not an actual character within the Goosebumps lore. He is like the species, yes, but this is like an OP character by the team themselves. Also, weird enough, there are actually, although they refer to them as PH or Pumpkinheads, there is actually a horror movie called Pumpkinhead, which is like this weird demon alien creature that's like a xenomorph. I don't know, it's bizarre. But regardless of battling on, this video is quite short. It's only one part. There's like 5 parts to this, but there's some interesting facts and some fun. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. So let's go ahead and dive right in, shall we? And let's take a look at Jack. Now, Jack himself does cost a bit of money. And once you do pay him, this is the screen you get. So let's see what his story is about.
What would you think if I told you there are beings among us who would eat us down to the bone? There's an extraterrestrial society that seeks Earth dwellers as their main food source. They are here, there, and everywhere, hiding their true appearance under jack-o'-lantern masks. Now you know, if you ever meet someone with a pumpkin head, you better run. PH-39. As you learn once more, I'll send you into space on the next expedition. And be assured that you'll have plenty of time to rest on the journey I have planned for you.
Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Have him work hard all day and place a pumpkin patch field. Now, disclosure, I am not a pumpkin head. I know my avatar may make me look like I am, but I'm not. I'm wearing a duffel bag, or as some person put it, a cactus at some point, but it is not a real pumpkin. I know you guys are probably creeped out by that, but here's a zoom in on him working hard, which is literally just him walking around with a pumpkin to and fro. That's his little hut, by the way, over there. It's a pile pumpkin patch, so we'll put him right here. You will see how this whole area gets transformed into Jack's little pumpkin farm, and that little hut there, that is his home. Anyways, let's continue on after he was done with this.
It's funny. I wonder why that boy is always disguising as a jack-o'-lantern.
Uh-oh, it's Emily.
He's a very strange child. You should stay away from him.
It's certainly very strange, Grandma, but I think he's kinda cute.
Oh no.
PH3945 and PH3948. Prepare the cages. Make sure there are enough padlocks. PH3956 and PH3921. Check the trailers are in good condition. You know I will not tolerate errors. If any prey escape again, it will be you who will be locked away. And you, PH3952. Prepare the nets and helmets. At least try to do one thing well.
Understood, sir.
Oh my god! What's wrong with your face?
Yeah, the monsters look like mutated beakers. Place some cages, place some cage trailers, and make a helmet out of pumpkin. So, yeah, there's this twist. These guys are actually aliens, and they look like they have human bodies, but their heads are bizarrely, muppetly deformed, so they use pumpkins over their heads. And that's so bizarre. How does that work? Now, in the show, they explain that they're shapeshifters, so it makes sense. But here, they're like, oh no, we just wear pumpkins over our heads. And you can see that he's making a nice jack-o'-lantern. If you saw my playthrough during the Haunted Halloween, this is the same animation he did during that time, so nothing's changed there. You'll see most of all the animations they go on with. And yeah, this is Jack's home. It looks like a... it almost looks like a bunker. Like one of those Fallout shelter bunkers. And what's weird about this is that you might be wondering why they're called PH. It's this pumpkin head and then the number. And I think it's because they didn't give them official names. They're like drones. So it's like, oh, drone 654, do this thing for me. I think that's what they're going with here. But then Emily gets involved in the story. And it's really intriguing. Also, I should mention that I believe this update hit sometime in July, right after the first event they had, or the first quote-unquote event. This is Jack Pack, by the way. It comes with a cargo transport. The pack itself also comes with Jack. I ended up getting this because that cargo transport is so cool looking, and it's animated. It's like, oh boy. Oh, and this took place way back in the day when I had duplicates of everything, so this is one of those back in the past kind of videos, so, you know, bear with it. But it is very interesting to see some of these items come into fruition here. And, yeah, like, I'll show more in question. I got a comment the other time when I was playing the Haunted Halloween when someone was asking, oh, where did you get that ship? And this is where it came from.
Isn't it a little early for pumpkin carving? They're going to be rotten by Halloween.
Don't you have something better to do than meddling in other people's affairs? Why is he sniffing?
I didn't mean to make you cry. I was just asking an innocent question.
Wait, he's crying? Oh, why don't you just go away? Yeah, that'll do it.
Alright, please stop crying. I'm sorry for bothering you.
Maybe he wasn't crying. Maybe he just had allergies from cutting pumpkins all day.
Please forgive what I said about your pumpkin. I didn't mean to upset you. My name's Emily Green. What's yours?
My name is PH3952. Nice name.
What? That's funny. Are you a robot or something? I'm glad to know you at least have a sense of humor.
That's not nice. Look, girl, I'm busy. If I don't finish my work, I'll be punished. Go play somewhere else. Wow, you made him so upset. You're just doing so well, Emily.
I was only trying to be nice.
That's nice? No, you're not. Play some forklifts, play some cryonic chambers, and patrol with the pumpkin-headed dog, eh? Ooh, I didn't see this. So they're taking it right from the book cover. I want to see this right now. Oh, that's so good. Look at this. Oh, I should also mention the next part. It's going to be... I'm going to talk a little bit more, but needless to say, there was a dialogue that I ended up screwing up. It was something to do with, like, it started off with...
Oh, that's a cute little dog you got there. What's his name?
And then it kind of lead into saying this. His name is Spike. Or Spark, or I don't know. I forgot to click
Record.
Yeah, so I forgot to click record, so the first two parts, it kind of skipped through. So the next line of dialogue ended up screwing up like that. I kind of will talk briefly on that, but needless to say, that's a little joke I decided to show off while I was showing the zoom in on the pumpkin-headed dog and him just walking around, wondering what is life. And yeah, these cryonic... It looks so weird that you get this nice alien... Like, this is like the first official alien character we got, and it's like pumpkin theme. Like, this update alone, whether it being very small, it's jam-packed with such charm and such cool-looking items that just makes you go, ooh, yes. He needs 2 forklifts, by the way. I mean, you could tell he's really doing some work with the pumpkins. And when the Haunted Halloween kind of came through, you might have seen this during the playthroughs of my videos, but I'll show it off real here. But the way I kind of designed my my Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns area, I'm really proud of that. It looked really, it looked so good. But that's neither here or there of embellishing in my achievements and my hard work. It's part of one of the reasons why I kind of like this game is that some of the dialogue, but then also some of these items they kind of provide. Now, this is like really early on in the game, so this happened, I believe, before the Halloween update happened, and I think this was right after it was right after the other event that just happened. So yeah, the cargo transporter, you get the cryonic, you get all this stuff, so it does help you out a bit, so it's not a bad deal. So yeah, basically that's all it is for that, so go on to the next part here.
I can't believe it. Even your dog has a name. Yet you don't.
I already told you, my name is PH3952.
I can't call you that. You need a real name. Names are important. We all have to have one. What about Jack? It's a cute name, and fits you.
Oh my god.
Hi, Jack. Look what I brought you. An apple.
We don't eat apples. We have a special diet.
You don't eat apples? Jack, you are the strangest person I ever met. Hello? Laugh out loud.
Okay, give me the apple. But now I need you to go.
But why? Have I done something wrong? I thought we were starting to become friends.
Emily, pay attention and listen to me. Go to your house and do not leave until there is complete silence.
Wow, you don't have to be a dink about it. Also, you gotta love that little dialogue where they decide to add LOL into the words. But yeah, this you can see why I'm starting to enjoy this little quest line of sorts. It's very short, as you can see. There's only 5 parts, but it's still fun to have this kind of go about. And it's short, but it's nice and it's jam-packed. So I like that kind of stuff right here. Also, I don't know what happened when I was recording or why this is such a long period of time. Hence why I'm kind of avoiding continuing on and making it seem like I'm holding things on that they're not. But hopefully this will end soon. And no, it's not. It's just going to keep on going on. It's forever. You're going to see him walking forever with the grey-out people like he's walking in the haunted school. Now that will be an update to actually see in the future. But hopefully now, yeah, okay, we're coming up now. So let's see what may come from this story. Which is just placing the pumpkin field and spawning the pumpkin heads. Oh, wow. What anticlimactic that was. But yeah, this would have taken some time jump because in order to get the pumpkin heads, you need to get a certain level and you need to buy it. Also, by the way, you gotta love this. He's listening to the Smashing Pumpkins, so I'm assuming he's probably listening to 1979. And there was a moment there, as you saw, that the animation just kind of screwed up real quick. So I kind of tried to slow it as down as possible with the frames, but it happened like within 2 frames, so it's kind of hard to see, but it was just very jarring while editing. So you got to see that. So eventually I did get this. There we go. This is during Halloween update, by the way. And we got the pumpkin field. So here are the pumpkin heads. You got the pumpkin leader boss, which is $7, which is a lot. He gives you a smashed pumpkin. And of course, if you have Jack, which is needed, you can get 30% without having to spend any money. So that's always good. You gotta always love that when that's the case. So here's what Jack looks like when you spawn him out here. He'll actually run around with the net without his head, but he'll have his dog Spark or Spike or whatever running around with him. And it's very weird. It's been so long, and yet I still remember the dog's name. And I was just like, okay, I gotta remember to do this. And then once I got this in film, I just will forget it. But yeah, so the other character animations, they're basically the same as Jack here. The only difference is they don't have the dog with them. So if you're ever wondering which one's Jack, he's the one with the dog. And it's weird that the dog, like what? Is that like an alien dog? Is it like a dog body but with the bizarre Beaker Muppet mutant head there? Yeah. Who designed the aliens? Like, I'm trying to remember from the story. I don't recall. I think they just said they were aliens, but who designed those Muppet-like monsters for the show? It's just so good. Ooh. Anyways, let's continue on with the story. Here we go.
Jack, I heard noises and shouting. I was worried about you. Are you okay?
Emily, I told you to go to your house and stay there until it's quiet. You're just lucky you haven't already been captured.
Captured?
Captured? What? By whom? What are you talking about?
Come with me. I'll explain.
He eats people. Dun 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 dun!
Listen carefully, Emily. I can't explain who I am or where I come from. You're the only person who has treated me well since I arrived, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Oh, that's the nicest thing you said.
For now, we're both children, but when you grow up, my kind will come for you. Stay away from anyone like me.
Okay, how do I respond to a question like that, to an answer like that?
Why are you telling me these things, Jack? I don't want to stay away from you.
Listen, Emily, the best thing for you is to never see what I really am. Trust me.
I don't understand what you mean at all, but I respect your wish. Goodbye, Jack.
Place the cargo container and check the cargo for expansion. I don't know. Ah, yeah, what a sad story. This is like the tragic love story. But yeah, you see the weird-looking alien kind of making his shit. He's like, all that stuff. You can see it's slowly starting to grow. Yeah, it's slowly growing. As of right now, I can't do anything about that. But, you know, what can you do? And here comes the conclusion to the story.
Page 3952. Have you made sure the shipment is ready for the expedition? Is the harvest dates okay on all the chambers? Are all the destinations correct? Are you listening to what I am saying in page 3952?
My name is Jack, not PH 3952.
For a young hunter like Jack, it's impossible to make friends with his future prey. But who knows? Maybe a good nutritionist can help Jack control his hunger when he grows up.
Oh, really? That's the end of the Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. What a great ending to that, for both, for the show and for this, you know. Oh, it turned out they ate them. Happy Halloween. And then ends it with that. And then that's the storybook. And here is the the Hollowed Guide. Which you need these items, and you having Jack actually helps you get this stuff real easy. So it's not really hard to get those items in question. I will show off the other two characters as well as the animation that I've missed. So here's what this guy looks like. And I guess he's the leader, or not the leader, but he's like the commander of sorts. And I'll add one of these guys here as well. So it gives you 70%. So yeah, we're gonna look at this guy because he looks more unique. He looks weird because he's like, oh, that's a quick one, but hold on, there we go, much better. You kind of get a brief look of what this guy looks like, kinda, but he's running around whapping people. It looks really interesting to see how this guy kind of looks around. It's weird too because he's like wearing a tux and everything, and he has more of a skull look on his pumpkin rather than the others, I assumed, which are just normal, just carving your face. Not your face, but the iconic jack-o'-lantern faces on there with the triangle eyes and the jagged spiked happy mouths, that kind of thing. Yeah, so we're just gonna have him scream around like crazy. And like I said, the other ones just simply just runs around normally. And yeah, I could briefly see how my place is looking, but it's gonna get better. Alright, so all these characters are done. I'll be clicking all this stuff, and eventually I will click the image if I can, if this will let me, but I won't know. Let's see here. And I'm taking my sweet time. There we go, much better. And I got, out of 70% chance, I got the thing I want. So here's the thing I didn't get to show you, which is take a wild ride. So this is what he looks like. Whoa, Jack is holding his head because he doesn't want it to fall. And it's weird because he actually has green, like you can see he has green hands. So he's an alien, yet I guess his body structure, oh yeah, and you could tell when I took this was recent. You can see one of the updates at recent I got that. And here's the look of what this looks like. There you go. The hollowed guide. Really looking nice. And finally, here is the final result of my Jack place. Looks pretty decent, and I will have to say that's about it. By the way, I forgot to mention, when the game was in its beta, there was this weird looking jack-o'-lanterns at the point. Before the game actually had its story, this is what this character looked like. It was just a spawn, and this is being courtesy by Casey Loves Gaming for his beta recording copy, but this is what this barn looked like before what we do now. And the characters of the the pumpkin heads looked real different, but you can tell this was roughly based off of the Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, but I did appreciate how they've turned this into more of a story, and it made it look a little bit more updated and less generic looking. Oh, and by the way, this is what it looked like back then with the spawn. Really intriguing to see how the spawn looked something like this back in the day. But hey, now you know. And I'll show you briefly, oh yeah, and this is what the inventory looked like back then. So you see some places looked bizarre, like the clown and lawn gnomes having weird placement of buildings. And this is what these guys look like when you spawn them in. Back then, it looked something like this. Also, it's weird, they drop the animal elixir. Yeah, so this is what they look like. They look like these tall, skinny things. Scarecrows. And that's about it. So, I'm wondering if they're going to ever use that type of design for something else in the future, like recycle it for something new. That might be interesting to see, but we'll have to just wait and see. So that's about it for this update. Well, old update, but I hope you enjoyed this little appetizer while in the process of trying to make the next video, which is coming up, which is going to be Deep Trouble. And like I teased during my Shrunken Head playthrough, there is something special with the Deep Trouble update, and I will share with that more. And I will tell you that the Deep Trouble update will have 4 videos in total, and it will be roughly 2 hours, so that's why it's taking a little longer than it should. And with my scheduling, it's weird because I have to do editing all in one day kind of deal rather than what I did before, so it is going to take a little longer, but my hope is by doing this type of stuff, I'm hoping to get it out a lot faster than I did before, so we'll just wait and see what ends up happening. But anyways, that's about it for me. I hope you enjoyed this little video I made, and I will see you next time. Until then, have a good night, and I will be seeing you during Deep Trouble. Hopefully.